Hey, so today I'm going to do a mukbang, and what basically involves me eating some amazing vegan pizza and sort of talking about a few topics that are currently happening. And so this one was bought from Sainsbury's. It's like a plain pizza, and then I fried up some garlic, some mushrooms and some red onion and then put it on top. And then on top of that I put mayo, like vegan mayonnaise and hummus. So I'm just going to have a little bit of a taste of this again. And so at the moment there is a lot of vegan options available. So these are the new ones from Sainsbury's. And on top of that, you have these cheap ones. Hopefully, there we go. You have these cheap ones from Goodfellas. You can get these for like £2.50. And what else we got? Recently, I tried this, like the Meatless Farm Co. It basically tastes exactly the same as animal products. And for dessert, there's these nowadays. These are gluten-free, vegan ice creams. This one was like toffee and vanilla cones. These taste really good. And I have quite like an unusual diet. So I have vegan, gluten-free, low sugar and no chili. So for me, this pizza is great. It just tastes like ordinary pizza, but hasn't got bits of animal on it, and it's gluten-free, so it doesn't upset my stomach. And it's really good. So if you haven't tried it, or you haven't tried those other things I mentioned, get involved. And it's not exactly hard to put a pizza in the oven. It's not really cooking. On a grand scale, it's just like put it in the oven and you've got a tasty meal. So, I thought I'd take this opportunity to, as I said earlier, talk about a couple of topics, and on top of that, clear up some give some answers to some other commonly asked questions. And one of them is, you can't be 100% vegan. Yeah, fair enough. You can't. Like, the air that we breathe might have tiny bits of human beings. Human beings are animals, so therefore, when I take in air into my body, I may take in bits of animal products, human beings, which makes us cannibals. But I think the problem is that people have a weird perception of what veganism is. I'm going to put the statement that the Vegan Society put together when they started the Vegan Society way back in 1944. So you have a clearer idea of what it is, because a lot of the time people talk about things that aren't to do with veganism, whether it's palm oil, whether it's what else? Soya destroying the planet, avocados, because all the vegans are eating the avocados that are... This guy the other day said that avocados in South America are linked to gangs, therefore vegans are funding these gangs, therefore vegans are killing humans. And I'm like, I said to him, well, there's only 500,000 on the survey of vegans in the UK. And so, sorry, I'm getting really distracted by this. There are more meat eaters eating avocados than there are vegans. So is it the vegan problem? And then you can just basically just go to buy avocados from another country. If it really is coming from those places, just buy an avocado from another part of Europe. I think I might have sidetracked a little bit. You can't be 100% vegan. That's a lot of hummus right on that bad boy. You can't be 100% vegan. Yeah, great. Okay, cool. It doesn't mean you shouldn't be a vegan. Veganism isn't like a totalitarian, perfectionist mindset. It's adapting to a non-vegan world in the best way you can. It's about doing your best as well. Like, I bought some rolls, gluten-free, and it said dairy-free, gluten-free on the front. I was like, oh, sweet, I'll be vegan then. I was munching through one of them, and my friend's like, oh, these have got egg in them. And I was like, stopped eating the roll, took the gunky bit of chewed up roll out my mouth, chucked it on the floor, and like washed out my mouth. And I was like, that's disgusting. So, but the reality is that like slip-ups and mistakes happen, and you just get on with it. You just go, okay, that happened. I didn't mean to. I gave in a little bit. And you focus on the bigger picture, which is helping as many animals as you can before you die. Here's another one. So, I'll read it out because I won't remember it all. So, militant and extreme vegans are bad for the movement. I'm not going vegan because there is one bad vegan. Right. Let's talk about these extreme vegans. If any vegans are hurting other human beings, which are animals, so like physically, violently attacking them or sending them death threats, at that stage, you're not a vegan. You can't say, you can't live a philosophy where you try and do your best to not hurt animals and send death threats to human beings who are also animals. At that point, you're just not a vegan anymore. You have to like not send death threats. If you send death threats, you're not a vegan, in my humble opinion. Extreme vegans, I mean, that's kind of like down to your own outlook and own point of view. But in any extreme vegan case, currently we're killing loads of animals when we don't need to in the UK. What's more extreme? People protesting against that, or the killing of the animals? You know what I mean? You have to weigh these things up. Is it extreme to end an animal's life when you don't need to? Obviously it's yes. Obviously it is extreme to render an animal unconscious, whether that's suffocating them or electrocuting them, whatever it is, like that's an extreme thing to end their life. So I'd always look at what the extreme thing that the vegans are supposedly doing and then weigh it up against the reality of killing animals. And unless the vegans are killing animals and humans, then their actions aren't as extreme as that. What else we got? Oh yeah. So if I did something which other people would deem extreme and that put people off veganism, I don't think that's a very good outlook on the world, because there have been many meat eaters that have killed people, that like rape people and like abuse animals and stuff like that. Who do extreme things, but no one's ever said, oh yeah, I'm not going to be a meat eater because that person killed 10 people. Do you know what I mean? Like Ted Bundy or Fred West or whatever. Jack the Ripper. Yeah, Jack the Ripper liked kebabs and liked fish and chips. And he killed loads of people. He was a meat eater. Yeah, because of his extreme actions, I'm not going to do that. People are looking for excuses in those cases when they say, oh, that don't do that because that's going to put me off. Yeah, don't talk to me like that because that's going to put me off. So if somebody is like anti-racist, pro-women's rights, anti-slavery, anti-homophobia, all the normal things, and it turns out that they did one extreme thing, or they might have been a criminal, or like they got arrested and they're in prison or something. You're not going to then become a racist because of one individual. It's not logical. You don't base your outlook, you don't base the way that you live your life based on one individual and one aspect of them. You go, women's rights still matters, regardless of whether that person's been in prison. Being anti-racist makes complete sense, regardless of who's stolen a chocolate bar. Or some sweets or whatever it is. I think their point is just really flawed and baseless and doesn't make any sense. That mayo is great. If you haven't tried it, check it out. So if you made it this far, I've only got one slice left, so there won't be that crunchy sound much longer. Right, who has seen 73 Cows? If you haven't, go and watch that film. It's awesome. It's a real-life documentary about a farmer who... An animal farmer, let me be specific. An animal farmer who decided that he couldn't keep making himself feel uncomfortable taking animals to their slaughter. He started listening and reacting to how he was really feeling, and like, it makes a lot of sense. Like, you've got 10 sheep, or cows in this case, 10 individuals in the back of the trailer, bouncing around. You can hear them. 10 individuals that you've spent the last 2.5, 3 years with. You know that they have like their own personalities and they had their own families and they like being alive. And you're just there like taking them to a death camp, or like, it's worse than a death camp. It's a slaughterhouse where they kill them that day in most cases. And he just realised that it just didn't make any sense, and it was making him really unhappy. And it makes total sense. Like, if your job involves killing other beings, that will get a lot of people depressed. I've killed animals in the past, and it was weird. I regret it. I regret it a lot. But luckily, I'm never going to do it again. And back to 73 cows. Go check it out. Really awesome. Another farmer I was reading about today in Devon, he did the same, like a very similar thing, where he was driving some sheep to a slaughterhouse, and he's like, I can't do this anymore. It's like, he's gone and found another career. That's the other thing about the guy from 73 Cows. He now grows plants. Go check out my video about, it's called Cow's Milk. Dairy is the new Titanic. There's loads of different jobs that farmers can do instead of using animals. And the website Free From Harm also has like a huge list of other farmers who've transitioned their land and just done other things instead of using animals. Oh yeah, with 73 Cows, it won a BAFTA, which is the British equivalent of the Oscars. So an amazing feat for animal rights right there. Getting it in the mainstream, and it's just a really awesome story. Which is ironic because it's real life, but tale, is that a better word for it? I don't know. Go check it out and make up your own mind, because I really love it, and I think everyone else will too. And then also, if for those who haven't watched it, go check out Carnage as well. And finally, just be nice to animals and people. Bam!
These walls are disappearing, and I don't seem to care.